So welcome students to this third workshop on development journalism organized by Press Club Kolkata in collaboration with the Unicef Office for West Bengal. We've had two other workshops for students earlier. We had one for students of Women's College Kolkata and Sister Nivedita University. Along with that, we had Vishwa Bharati for the first workshop. For the second workshop, we had students from University of Calcutta, and we also had students from St. Xavier's University, Kolkata. And for this third workshop in this series, we've invited students from University of North Bengal, University of Golbongo, Shidokano Birsha University, and also students of Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Dhenkanal. We've had over 500 students registration for these three workshops, and we're delighted to have reached out to diverse postgraduate students across the length and breadth of the state. We also had a workshop for faculty in West Bengal, and we started off with a workshop on development journalism for faculty members in February. And we are having an offline or face-to-face workshop with journalists across the state. So we had one for journalists in Purulia and Bankura in the first phase. Then we just returned from Bolpur, where we had journalists from Birbhum, Murshidabad, and the adjoining districts. We'll very soon be moving to Shiliguri for journalists in North Bengal, and then we have another series in Kolkata as well. And all this has been made possible by the support and encouragement of the UNICEF Office for West Bengal, especially the Chief of the UNICEF Office for West Bengal, Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin. So before I hand it over to him, just a few lines about development journalism. I'm sure we are aware of the debate around development journalism and the debate surrounding the social responsibility model and the democratic participation model of journalism, as it were. And on the third day of this workshop itself, we have invited a prominent economist, Professor Dr. Amit Shobhan Ray, who will be talking about different development perspectives. And as we will see, that development is not just GDP per capita, it's not just certain indicators of economy, but there are very many different ways of looking at development. And one of them, of course, is looking at different indicators of human life, as it were. Development journalism itself has many strands, and there are people who see it more as kind of promoting certain kind of processes. So we have the pro-process strand in development journalism. We also have the pro-participation strand, where the idea is to get everybody, or to get all the stakeholders participate in the process of development. And then we also have the pro-government strand, where the job of the journalist is to support government in its development initiatives. So there are different ways of looking at development journalism, but one important thing that we keep the citizen at the center of this journalism, where the welfare of the citizen is probably as important as everything else. And we will see during the course of our discussions that there are two important things to look at when we talk of development journalism. One, of course, is the content that we put out. What is the content that is important, or what are the talking points that we create as journalists, or what are the issues that we highlight as part of our journalistic work. And we'll see that apart from the regular sourcing that we as journalists do, getting it from all the known sources, we also have a lot of data sources that we'll be talking about. So that's one part of it. The second part is how to make that more useful or more interesting for the stakeholders. And there again, we have 2 or 3 different ways of looking at it. And I'm sure that as journalism and mass communication students, we are aware of the differences between the didactic approaches, where we are trying to explain or provide the information to people in a straightforward way. And there is the narrative approach, where we utilize all the different storytelling skills to put the message across. And we've seen that these storytelling skills are probably more relevant, or probably have more impact on readers, because it helps in creating the right mental or behavioral models for our readers and news consumers. So over the next 3 days, we'll be talking in details about all these different facets of development journalism. And I once again thank Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, the UNICEF chief for the office of West Bengal here in Kolkata. And today he's joining us from Dhaka, and we thank him for his time. I have the pleasure of formally introducing him today. So Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, he started his current mission to India as Chief UNICEF Office for West Bengal in November 2017. He is also United Nations State Coordinator and Area Security Coordinator for the whole United Nations system. He is an active member of the Consular Corps of Kolkata, CCK, which is the Forum of Diplomatic Community in Kolkata. He's been leading UNICEF missions in the area of education, health, nutrition, water, sanitation and hygiene, child protection, social policy, and communication for development, advocacy, and media and partnerships as well. UNICEF has been working in partnership with government departments and parastatals, legislatures, judiciary, Child Rights Commission, Human Rights Commission, universities, civil society organizations, and the private sector. Prior to joining UNICEF India, he has been UNICEF's Chief of Field Office in Sokoto, Nigeria since 2014, where he set up the field office and has led UNICEF's program in 3 northwestern federal states. Mr. Mohiuddin has been working for the last 33 years in the area of public policy, institutional development, and governance, and development management as well. Mr. Mohiuddin worked from 2006 to 2014 with the UNDPKO missions in Afghanistan as head of civil affairs section in the regional office Kunduz, as the deputy head of field coordination in mission headquarters Kabul, and in Sudan with the office of UNRCHC as humanitarian affairs officer. In his first assignment with UNICEF, he worked with the Bangladesh country office as program coordinator, emergency obstetric care from 2000 to 2004. Prior to this, he also worked with the World Bank from 1998 to 2000. Mr. Mohiuddin started his career in Bangladesh civil service in 1988 and worked with the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, National Planning Commission, and Central Bank of Bangladesh. He obtained his master's in economic policy management from University of Clermont-Ferrand, France in 1996 with World Bank Graduate Scholarship Program, and master's in economics from the University of Chittagong, Bangladesh in 1988. We are delighted to welcome you to deliver the inaugural address, Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, Chief of Office, UNICEF Office for West Bengal. You're on mute, sir.
Okay.
You are audible now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Pandey. President Kolkata Press Club, distinguished resource persons, and students from different universities and institutions, good evening. UNICEF has been working with government, police, judiciary, university, Child and Women Rights Commission, civil society organization, and media for the well-being of children in the state. We have quite significant progress in routine immunization, reduction of infant, child, and maternal mortality, school enrollment, and provision of safe drinking water and sanitation, social protection. These are higher than the Indian national average. Despite this remarkable progress in the state, if we look from the equity lenses, there are some geographical pockets like the districts of Malda, Murshidabad, Purulia, and South 24 Parganas, and some backward groups like the minorities and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, still lagging behind. In terms of social indicators in the state, there are still 2 areas, one nutrition, another is child marriage, where a state is far behind than other states in India. In the development history, reaching the last mile of progress is always a difficult journey. And there, government and development partners cannot alone reach that last journey. We need support from all stakeholders of the society, and media definitely is most critical partner in this journey. I'm giving the example of ending child marriage. We know generally it's due to poverty, lack of awareness and education, etc. In Bengal, poverty now has come down to 16%. But if we look at the percentage of child marriage in the state, which is highest as per the NFS's 5 data now, it is 43% approximately. So we can see it is not always the poverty. To reduce income barrier of the parents and the families, state government with support from Unicef has quite a good number of social protection schemes like the take-home ration, Lokhir Bhandar, Shashtra, etc., etc. To reduce child marriage, lots of schemes also like there are Konyasri, Shobushati, Shabala, Rupasri, etc. are there. For awareness, let me tell you my discussion with an adolescent girl in Purulia. Still, I went to Purulia and met with a girl and I was talking to her. She was not in the school on that day. School was closed. So I asked her, if you are being forced to have marriage, what you'll do? And she was telling me step by step. First, I'll talk to my friends, then I'll talk to my teachers, then to the panchayat people, then to the police station and the video. So step by step, she knows what to do. And lastly, she was telling, if not possible, then I'll call the child line 1098. So we can see the situation and the awareness among the adolescents is very, very high. But still, we can see in the society the son preference. Even in the wildlife families, we can see there are attempts for a boy child and who is ending up with having 4 to 5 girls in a family. There are no interest of parents to invest on girls. We can see in the educated and wildlife families, girls are being sent to the government schools and boys to private schools. Parents are going to other states for arranging child marriage. If we go to the hospitals, we can see huge number of teenage pregnancies. And everyone, if you ask the question, everyone will tell you they are 20 years of age. So it's a deep-rooted value system and norms in the society about the value of girls. This is definitely a harmful practice and has intergenerational gap and impact on girls and continuous vicious cycle of malnutrition, again child marriage, teenage pregnancy, low birth weight of the children, anemia among those adolescents who are growing as adolescents from the low child weight, and then again ending up with the child marriage and teenage pregnancy, and on it is going in the society. This is a tough situation, and it needs lots of patience and all-out concerted efforts from all of us, all sections of the society, the communities, panchayats, intellectuals, teachers, frontline workers, self-help groups, civil society organizations, and media's role is very, very vital here. That's why Unicef reached partnership with Kolkata Press Club to train media students and entry and mid-level journalists from across the state. We are also collaborating with media houses and the media personalities to organize roundtables, talk shows, and other discussions, so that we can create a mass movement, Jana Andolan, in the society to overcome these barriers. Today is the 3rd batch of the training for media students, as Dr. Pandey mentioned earlier, on development journalism. We are happy that we could take the first step on this journey of development journalism in the West Bengal. Understanding the tenets of ethical reporting is another important and critical issue to ensure that rights of every individual is practiced and upheld. For us at Unicef, our mandate to work on children makes it necessary to ensure that news gathering adopts ethical guidelines and is backed by evidence from a credible source. We are also keen on storytelling and data journalism, both of which are important elements that makes news impactful. Senior academicians and the journalists form the panel of experts for this 3-day session. I'm happy to see that the session on development journalism, first session of 3 days training on development journalism sets the context today. There will be a separate session on children and women. I'm also happy to note that data journalism has also been included along with learning experience from senior journalists. As prospective journalists, we will be looking up to you to represent the fourth pillar of democracy in the state. I'm certain that your motivation, your enthusiasm, and your spirit will help to practice development journalism and carve a space for evidence-based responsible reporting, particularly on social issues like health, nutrition, child marriage, and other issues. From UNICEF, we will definitely look at children finding enhanced spaces of ethical reporting on them. I wish today all the success of this course and thank to the panel of experts for making their efforts to support us on this noble journey. My sincere thanks and gratitude to the leadership of the Kolkata Press Club, particularly the President of the Press Club and his team to make this today happen. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for the address, sir, and thank you for all the encouragement and support. And we've indeed, this has been a wonderful learning experience, not only for the participants, but for the organizers and the resource persons as well, because, and these conversations are continuing beyond these sessions on different social media groups that we've formed. And we can see, for example, journalists sharing the kind of stories, they're doing across the state, and this is a continued conversation that we hope to have in times to come. Thank you again, sir, for this support, and we'll look forward to your cooperation and support in the future as well. Is the president there on the Snehasis Sur, sir, are you there? So as we said, this is the third in the series, and we have one of our resource persons, although he has a session at 8:30 today, but I'll invite him for a couple of minutes, Professor Dr. Mrinal Chatterjee, for your initial thoughts.
Yes, am I audible, Dr. Pandey? Dr. Pandey, am I audible?
You're audible, sir. I've invited MC sir for 2 minutes, so I'll just.
Okay.
Thanks, Pandey. It has been a wonderful journey. I have been associated with this journey of sensitizing probably would be a wrong word here, talking to media to be proactive in this domain for a long time now. I have been with this initiative, which was operationalized in Rajasthan, in Odisha, and now in West Bengal. And I'm sure this will create a kind of an ambience for the journalists to look at this kind of stories instead of the cliched big C stories, cricket, cinema, crime. Beyond that, looking at grassroots, looking at the core problems, core issues of people around us, and especially who are at the margin of the society. I congratulate UNICEF for this great initiative of a complete 360-degree initiative. I mean, you address students, you address practitioners, you address academicians. I mean, it's a complete 360-degree initiative, I must say. I wish this initiative a resounding success, and I feel proud to be a part of this initiative. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your introductory remarks. I now have the pleasure of inviting the Honorable Press Club President, Mr. Snehasis Sur, for his inaugural address.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. Your Excellency, most respected Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, the Chief of UNICEF Office in West Bengal, Professor Dr. Mrinal Chatterjee, Regional Director, Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Dhenkanal, Odisha, and my esteemed colleague, Ms. Monideepa Banerjee, a very senior journalist and committed journalist, and the faculty members of various institutions and universities of which the students are participating, and my dear students of various universities across the state, and also Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Denkanal. It is my pleasant duty to propose a vote of thanks to Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, our mentor and the chief of UNICEF Office, West Bengal. Your Excellency, it is for your personal initiative, commitment, and passion. We are able, on behalf of the Press Club, with the support of UNICEF, that we are doing this kind of programs in the second successive year. And this is a learning process for all of us, sir. I have no hesitation in saying. And as a three-pronged approach, we started with sensitizing the faculty members who will prepare the future journalists and academicians in various universities by a faculty development program. And secondly, we are doing a series of workshops to sensitize the students, postgraduate students of journalism and mass communication, to sensitize them on development journalism. If we are there in the field of journalism, either by a practicing journalist or by or in the means of a teacher or in the means of the information, education, communication personnel, we have to think of development journalism, human development. This kind of workshops definitely will give you a mileage, give you an exposure to see development. Development is not government say-so journalism. Development is not only what has been communicated to you. How to find stories, human interest stories, and the impact and the gaps of development, these are to be sensitized. This is a unique endeavor that we are trying to find a space of development in the mainstream journalists. When we do the workshops for the students, we are preparing the future journalists and future media educators and future communicators in various forms. Once when you are in media school, if you are sensitized properly, definitely the way you will engage with development and report development, see development, will change within you because you are sensitized. When we are doing it for the journalists across the state, we have done 2 and we'll be doing 2 more. We are getting a different experience. A lot of enthusiasm has been seen by practicing journalists, and they say that these inputs open up their vision to see and report. Ultimately, our vision, a combined vision of the UNICEF, under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin and Ms. Sucharita Bordhan, the communication specialist of West Bengal Office of UNICEF, to find out more space, genuine space, proper space, and the right kind of reporting on development, where people's plights will be highlighted, people's impact on development will be highlighted properly. So this 3-pronged attempt and a continuous attempt. Last year we did a crisis communication because we were suffering from pandemic. This time we have chosen development because any kind of journalism and communication cannot be successful and cannot be complete without people. People's plights and people's pride and people's achievements are to be highlighted in the media. Because without people, media cannot survive and media should not survive. So this creating a space in mainstream media is something we are targeting, and the space has to be filled in properly. You will be glad to know that while preparing the curriculum, along with giving various inputs on development, development as a theory, development as a concept of development journalism, storytelling, data journalism, and the kinds of skill development or skill development of journalism, like what I said, data journalism, storytelling, all these have been incorporated. So this does not only give you inputs on development as a one-way traffic. This also helps you in developing your core skill. That is why there is a blend in the curriculum, because you have to see the data. His Excellency was referring to the NFS data. How to see NFS data and how to find stories out of NFS data and how to substantiate stories. And another issue today, a burning issue, is to prevent fake news and how to check fake news. That also has been incorporated. So our trust is on development. Our trust is on women and children because they are vulnerable. As His Excellency Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin has referred to the different problems faced by the young girls in various parts of our state. So as a future media persons, one should be aware of all these so that you can address. And we see more just and proper space of development in future in the mainstream media. I'll be failing in my duty if I do not thank His Excellency Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, the Chief of West Bengal Unicef office. Because of your mentorship, sir, because of your support, we are able to do it. And we believe somewhere somebody is arranging these resources and you all are giving your time. The UNICEF officers and persons, the faculty members and the students, all of us are devoting this time. So there must be a result, there must be an impact. That should be the commitment. Sir, with your blessings and with your support, we believe that we'll be able to carry forward this mission. We take it as a mission. Press Club Kolkata is the country's oldest press club, and we are committed for upgradation of our standard of journalism. And that is why we have chosen development. And we are very happy to partner with an international organization of UNICEF, which is committed for the development in general and development of women and children in particular. So we are thankful to you. We are thankful to Ms. Sucharita Bardhan, Communication Specialist of the UNICEF Office West Bengal, who has also worked in similar manner in UNICEF Office in Guwahati and in Rajasthan. So with personal acumen, personal commitment and passion, we are able to carry this forward, and we are trying to do our best in achieving our target. We are thankful to Professor Minal Chatterjee and Ms. Monideepa Banerjee, two eminent persons from the field of media education and the field of media practice. They are the best resources in the country today. And we are grateful to you, sir and ma'am, that you are able to devote your time and you are doing this constructive service for the society by, upgrading the skill and concept of the students. I'm thankful to Dr. Shankar Pandey, our project director. We have been working together since the last year's project, and he is a hard taskmaster. I would also like to thank our project associates, Manushri Maiti and Debayan Vaduri, and all others who are there. And last but not the least, the faculty members of your universities and the students of North Bengal University, Shidu Kanu Birsha University located in Purulia, and Gourbongo University located in Malda, and the students of Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Dhenkanal, Odisha. You have joined and you are taking this opportunity, and we think your time and effort should not go waste. You will be a different person to be able to see it differently, to see development and place the development and the critical appreciation of development so that ultimately the people are benefited through the media advocacy, media support in development. You will be doing it in a better manner. So media will be in the right hands if you are sensitized. Thank you very much. Thank you, UNICEF. Thank you, each and everybody. We are happy from the Press Club to be able to do this. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Pandey.
Thank you, sir. And we thank the Honorable President, Press Club Kolkata for his unflinching support.